and this is inside scoop that Times Now has managed to access. As per government sources, we have more news coming in on the Delhi declaration. Inside scoop now that Times Now has managed to access. Government sources, as far as the New Delhi declaration is concerned, which was adopted by the several members of the G20 yesterday, highly placed sources now say it was a convergent consensus, not a divisive consensus. Consensus was stable, deep and broad. Sentiment in the leaders' room at the summit was very positive. As per sources, the declaration is Modi ki guarantee or Modi ka magic. We have Aishwarya joining us with more details. Aishwarya, that's what we've heard the several members of G20 speak of. Even G20 Sherpas, remember, have been speaking of how this was indeed a convergent, not a divisive consensus, and that's why we've seen 100% consensus on developmental and geopolitical issues.
Well, certainly, G20 Sherpa Amitabh Kant had categorically stated yesterday in a press conference that it was a convergent consensus, not a divisive consensus among the member nations of the G20. And consensus was stable, deep and broad in terms of the 83 paragraphs of the New Delhi Declaration. The government sources also have been stating to us now, after the New Delhi Declaration, which was announced yesterday by the government, that a historic one indeed. The sentiment in the leaders' room at the summit was very positive yesterday during the meeting. It was, of course, negotiated by the Indian ministers, and that was also thanked by Prime Minister Narendra Modi yesterday in the second session while he declared the New Delhi Declaration. Remember, it was Prime Minister Narendra Modi who thanked India's G20 Sherpa ministers, councils, and the other team members who are associated in negotiation with the other member nations. It has been also now stated by the government sources on New Delhi Declaration that the declaration is Modi ki guarantee or Modi ka magic. And certainly, it was very difficult indeed, as mentioned by External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar as well, that during Bali declaration, the timing was different, the situation was different, the global stage and the tensions were not there. But during as India took the presidency from Indonesia, there was tensions between Russia and Ukraine. There were several other leaders who said that G20 will not reach to its consensus, but certainly that was made, and it was Prime Minister Narendra Modi who is seen in a junction box of democratic values, who pulls in positive sentiment as well. And with the efforts of each and every team member of the Indian government, it was ultimately made consensus. And as been mentioned by the government, now the news which is pouring in that it was very positive. The sentiments in the leaders' room at the summit during the negotiation that was done by the government, and finally it reached at the later stage as New Delhi Declaration was, as New Delhi Declaration came out yesterday.
Well, a very, very big moment indeed, Aishwarya, as sources are indicating, in fact, a significant diplomatic coup, in fact, by India.